is up? Me and my friend were having problems. We tag my brother in so he can come on. We've been having problems. Um, See if I can. But in the meantime, I'll play a little something. All right, let me see if I can add you once your name pop up. Um, yeah, our church had. Okay, good. Okay. Bring them on camera.
Hey, baby.
Hey, we finally get it. We finally got it.
Oh my God, this Facebook stuff. How you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
How you
So
doing,
how are you?
Terrelonge?
I'm good, and you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Sorry, I was actually having problem with
To God
my
be the
my
glory.
live video. I don't know what happened. So sorry. So you need to
Yeah.
share it. You need to share the video for others to join, okay? So that we can
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me share the video for about
Okay.
5 minutes so that we can start. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So you can actually do the same.
Mhm.
There's an overflow.
So how was your
All
Sunday?
right. I'm all set now.
Beautiful.
All right. Good evening, viewers. I trust you all doing good. Happy Sunday to everyone here. My name is Mr. Jazzy. My name is Perry Adams, popularly known as Mr. Jazzy. Yeah, I got that Mr. Jazzy when I started playing bass. Yeah, so Mr. Jazzy has been part of my name for almost 12 years now. If I'm not lying, 12 years now. Yeah. So today is a first edition of Music Journey, Music Journey, Music Journey. You know, music comes with a whole lot. Music, as a human being, you need music in your life. You need music in the system. Music heals the soul. You understand? So whenever we talk of music, there is a whole lot. There is a whole lot package for us. You understand? So whether you are a bassist, whether you are a keyboardist, whether you are a vocalist, this show is actually for you. This show is for you. You need to join, and as I said it earlier on my page, you are not here by mistake. You are not here by a mistake. You're actually here to learn something for yourself, something extraordinary for yourself. You understand? So this show is actually for if you are an intermediate, it's for you. If you're a beginner, it's for you. If you're a professional, it's for you. We all learning from the whole angles together up together to make it a history. Yeah, that is how I'm gonna put it. So a history. Today I'm very fortunate to have my sister, my In fact, my everything. I've loved it from, you know, a woman singing and playing keyboard is not something easy. You understand? So tonight, she's Anita. You are welcome. You're welcome to Music Journey. You're welcome to Music Journey. We waited for this moment for a while now, and we bless God for this day, and we are believing in the Lord. Something extraordinary today. We need something in our system. We need to learn something as musicians. What do we have to know? So right now, I'll leave it upon you to make an introduction. Tell the world who you really are. I've started it, so you're gonna end it for me. So I leave it to you, Anita. Go ahead.
Thank you, my brother. I truly thank you, Mr.
You're
Jesse.
welcome.
I really appreciate you having me. I really appreciate you having me. Like, you
You're
could have
welcome.
chose many other musicians around the world, but you decided to choose, your sister, your dear sister, and I'm so honored to be here.
Blessed,
Um,
man.
so let's talk about yeah. So I'm going to talk about my journey of how music found me.
Okay.
You know, and music actually started when I was so young. I was really young. I was brought up in church. My parents are pastors. To this day, I'm still playing for my church. I'm still singing for my church, for God. And I love every moment of it. And it started so young. It started when I would always watch my cousin. He used to play drums. And that's the first instrument, very first instrument that I actually learned how to play is through my cousin, because he used to play drums. And he taught me. Well, one day, I came to him and said, "Oh, I want to learn how to play drums." The drums, really interest me. I just love how, they just, have,
Yeah, yeah. I
just
see that. I
their
see that. I see that.
inspirations, and yeah. And so, as a little youth, little girl, I asked him, one day I had, enough confidence to come to him and ask him, like, "Hey, can you teach me how to play drums?" And he said, "Yes, of course, of course." So that's when, a- as I started learning, new things on the drums and all the stuff, the cymbals, the toms, the everything, and how it just mashes together to make one beat to all together. It's just incredible.
Wow.
I learned so much. I learned once, you start practicing on that one instrument, or if you want to learn a lot of instrument, I learned that uh, um, to take your time. It's no rush. Just take your
Okay.
time,
Okay.
practice, 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 because practice, it definitely makes perfect. And music to me, oh, it's literally my mouthpiece. Literally,
Wow.
music literally helps me to literally say what I feel in my heart, and
Okay.
what I feel like that is going on to the world. And through God, the inspiration of God, he gives me all these songs. Even in my worship lives, I don't even know where it comes from, but I know it comes from God only. And um and it's just, and then how I start playing the piano. We're going to talk about the piano now. How I started to learn how to play the piano was, I think it was through a friend that because I'm that type of musician. I know there's a lot of, probably most musicians are very observant. They love to observe other musicians and
Okay.
watch every, the technique, and the style of how a musician should play, so that they can get some ideas.
Wow.
I'm that type of musician. We are all that type of musicians that um, we learn from each other. And I learn by like watching. I'm a visual learner. And I noticed that, whenever I go, whenever, even if it's my dad like preaching at another church, or my mom preaching at another church, I would always watch the musicians. I would always look for the musicians, and I'm like, oh, there you are. And I would literally have my focus, literally my focus on them. And
Wow.
I would literally watch the technique. I would hear, I was like, oh, I can probably use that technique as well, and but music, to me, it's a lot because honestly, through my life, I felt like I didn't know how to express myself, or or um say what I want to say, and music definitely helped me on that. Singing helped me on that. Singing is truly, my way of trying to get my point across, and music, it definitely, like my brother said, music heals. It truly does heal, because I've been, in places where I felt like, the dust. And when I listen to these musics that friends of mine have literally, say, hey, listen to this will definitely, help you and cheer you up and motivate you. And let me tell you, music, it heals. It wow, it really does do a lot. Like, I'm still learning about, you know what music can do. And it's created by the best creator, the creator of heaven and earth. God made music. And I'm just so happy that God has given me the gift to sing to you, to just, because I've been a kid that, I didn't know how to express, like I said, express, what I want to say, how I'm feeling, what's going through my mind or what's going through my heart. And definitely when I play, and when I, play the keyboard or play the bass or play the drums, it makes me feel so much better. And it makes me, you know, have the idea, like, you know what, yeah, like
Like,
this thing is
wow.
working. Music is
Wow.
really, really, really have changed me,
All
through the
right.
inspiration of the Holy Spirit.
Anita, can I
Yes.
ask you something here?
Sure.
I just want to ask you, what inspired you to, do multi?
Our connection is.
um, did multitasking among the instrument? What inspired
Our connection
Hello,
is playing with us. Yeah, I'm here. You were cut off, my friend. I'm sorry. So what was your question? Can you repeat your
my
question again?
question was,
I'm sorry.
what inspired you to do multitasking in music, to learn instrument? What? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello,
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
you can hear
Can
me,
you hear
right?
me? Yes, I can
Yeah,
hear
I can
you.
hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
I was actually
So,
asking what inspired you to do multitasking in music, to learn the various instruments aside the perfect instrument you wanted to learn. That is my question, my first question for you. I need to know what inspired you to do
okay.
multitasking in music. Yeah.
Honestly, that's a very good question. Um, honestly, well, I was kind of, forced to, because of, me being in church, and singing and just playing at the same time. I had a friend that he used to play for us, and of course, circumstances happened that he had to move. So I was forced to play the keyboard while leading worship, and it was hard at first, but the Lord helped me through it. And thank God, God sends somebody that can play. He can sing, he can worship, and so um, I'm just so like honored, you know.
Okay.
So, but yes,
All right.
um, yeah,
All right. All right.
but
I get that.
mhm.
So, have you been to a show that you've not prepared before? A show you've not prepared before? And how was the experience like?
Honestly, it was. Oh gosh, it was. It was just, I don't know how to explain it. I was so nervous. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I don't know what I was gonna say. I was like, you know what, Lord, like my emotions was like all over the
I
place.
see that.
So, yeah, and but I just stopped myself. I just caught what I do is I stop myself and I said, you know what, I have a little talk with the Lord. I said, God, help me, just let your words flow through me, so I don't say nothing that, you don't like, or nothing that is offensive, just, reassure me. And that's exactly what, he does. He really
Great,
does. Yeah.
great, 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 great. I see that. So, what advice will you give to a person like that when he or she goes for a music competition and then didn't learn anything, didn't prepare anything? What is the advice you're going to give to that person out there?
That's a good one. My advice was to just what I would do is I would close my eyes and I would just block out all the
Okay.
distractions, that I would just try my best to just meditate. Meditation really helps, when I'm really like, all over the place, when my mind is all over the place, I'll just say, you know what? Let me just relax myself, be at ease, you know, uh, talk to God. Talk to God is the best thing to do, because he really helps me to calm my nerves. And, it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. Um, I was,
Okay.
somebody asked me to sing a song, um, at the last minute, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was trying to think of the words, trying to pull them up real quick, and I, my emotions were just everywhere, and I said, you know what? Let me just calm down. Let's then take a minute, calm down. Um,
Oops.
I would just literally in my mind just say, Lord, just take over me, because all I want is people to be encouraged, to be with water, to be just be encouraged. So because I don't want my emotions to be all over the place, and I mess up or anything. So my
All
advice
right.
is to
I
just
got you.
meditate on God. Allow God to really calm your nerves, just take a minute and just relax yourself, in the best way you can. Put on meditation music. That's what I do. I put on worship music, and it definitely helps. So that's my advice. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's great. That's great. That's great. I like that. Yo, wherever you are, it's all about music journey. It's all about music journey, and you can even tell from what we are doing, we're learning. We need to, you understand. So if you're online, just want you to share the video, make tag every musician. Every musician actually need this one, this particular one. Every musician need this. So kindly tag each and every one, every musician out there to join, so that at the end we all learn something out of it. Whatever mistakes that we've made it at the past, we can get back to it and then correct things and then move it on like that. Today I have my sister Anita Terrelonge from the US of A. Wow. A woman that plays keyboard, that one who plays almost everything. It is in with him. That is great. I'm so fortunate to have her. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And mind you, it's Sunday too. So the Holy Ghost is actually here.
Amen. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is here.
So Anita, I'll get back to you. I have a question I just want to ask you. It has been, you know, bothering my mind. I need to ask you this. How would you handle mistakes during performance when you're performing? when you are performing and
Mm.
then mistakes come? Like whether you are in a band or individual, how would you handle that mistake?
That is a very good question. How do I handle mistakes? I would just keep going, as if it. I would just keep going, just keep going. Don't ever stop, because if you stop, then you know. So just keep going, keep going. Like even if you miss a lyric or two, keep going, keep going, keep going, and allow God to really just if it's allow God to give you words. Because there's a lot of times where I have forgotten, literally forgotten a line or two in a lyric, and I just keep on worshiping God. I just keep on worshiping. Yeah, so definitely keep going. That's my advice. Just keep going.
Keep
Don't stop.
going, keep going, keep
Yes,
going, keep going. Wow, that's great.
keep
Keep
going.
going. Whenever so you heard everything, just said keep going. Whenever there is a mistake, you just have to keep going. Make sure nobody identify you made a mistake at that very point. Just keep going to avoid attention at you. To just keep going. That's great from Anita. Anita, do you have a favorite musician?
Oh, honestly, I have a lot. I have a lot of favorites. So I can't really say, oh, I have this one particular musician. But um I can say that there's one musician that I like. And he's a brother of mine, and he is just amazing. He is a young prodigy. His name is Nathaniel Sanford. Y'all follow him. He
Wow,
is just amazing. He really, I've learned a lot from him just by watching him. He's so humble. He's so humble, and I love that about him. He's so humble and pure, and he just whenever I call and say, "Hey, you want to do a gig?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. I'm not, doing anything. We can, hang out." But yeah, yeah, definitely. He's one of my top favorite
wow.
musicians. Definitely,
What was the name again? So that after that I could actually search for. What's the name again?
Nathaniel Sanford.
Wow, wow,
Nathaniel Sanford.
wow. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that.
Yes, he
So
is dope.
Anita,
Yes.
I just want you to advise the beginners out there. If somebody is approaching music or want to come into the music industry, what would be your first advice you would love to share with that beginner,
Mm.
particular that particular person who just want to come into the music industry? What would be your first advice for that person?
Hmm, that's a good question. My advice, if somebody that want to start their music career, or want to, start learning an instrument,
Yeah.
or, start singing, whatever it is in music, I would say allow allow your creativity
Okay.
to define you. Allow your creativity to, you know, um, allow your creativity you know, uh, just be who you are. Basically be who you are. Don't allow other companies to change who you are. Be who you are. Allow your creativity to define you. Yeah, so that's my
Wow,
advice.
that's great. So
Mhm.
Anita, aside music, I believe you're working, right? Aside music, I believe
Yeah.
you're working, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
how do you balance music with your work? How do you balance them together? In
Mhm.
order not to fade in the
Mhm.
system, how do you balance the music and the work together? How do you balance that?
Mhm. I will do is I make schedule. Like when I work, I will put like because I work from 9 um 9 no 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock. So I would say, okay, here's work time from 12 to no from 10 to 2, right? And then I'll say, oh, I have the rest of the day to relax or make music. Um, and what I would do is after work, I would um, spend time with God, and then I would, make some music. So that's my schedule that I will make. Make sure like you make a schedule, for, make time, for everything, So after work, I will just spend time with God, sing to Him, read my Bible, and then I would just make music. Yeah, and yeah, that's basically, yeah,
Wow, wow,
yeah.
wow. That's
Mhm.
great. That's great. Anita, there's one thing that also bothers me a lot. It has been other people's question they need to ask, but they don't want to ask because I just want to ask for them, and I'll ask here. Um, how long do you think a musician should practice when you are an instrumentalist or either vocalist? How long do you have to practice? How long do you think one has to practice? A day or hours or what? I just want to know.
Oh, that's a good question. How many? Okay, whatever is convenient with you. Just try your best to make time to practice. Whether it's like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, just try your best every day, and if you can't do every day, that's completely fine. Whatever time that whatever free time, on your free time, whenever I have free time, I would practice,
Okay.
so on your free time, whatever time it is, find time to practice, whatever, when it really doesn't matter the time, but make sure like you put in at least like at least 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever time that you can, on your free time. Yeah.
Right.
So that,
Right.
yeah.
Right. That's great.
Hmm.
So, my musicians out there, you heard it for yourself. Practice at a conducive time on your free time at any free given moment. You just want to practice, just feel free and practice. But if it shouldn't be every day that you just want to practice, you can do it maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes. You can actually do it that way. So that is an advice from Anita, and then I believe if we put it into practice, we'll get there. Anita, thank you very much for answering most of my questions. And my last questions before you go. Um, as a musician, as a musician, good. You've been called. Let's say you are a keyboardist, you're a drummer, you're a vocalist. You've been actually called to come and do a project with an artist. You understand?
Mm.
Yeah, definitely the artist is going to pay you. He's going to pay you. But what would be your first reaction if the artist call you to come and do a project with him or her? What would be your first impression? What would be your first reaction?
My first reaction was, if they call me, I would definitely, first I would say, okay, I'll be there. And what I would do is I would practice as much as possible, because I don't want to, you know, um, mess up or cause any problems. I would definitely practice a lot, and I would just, allow the Holy Spirit to just take over me. I love when God, has His way. He is pleased with what I'm doing, and I would definitely also, of course, because I love to smile a lot. I would keep a positive vibes between me and that person, and
I got you.
we, yes, definitely, yeah.
I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
and don't be afraid to
Right.
share your
Right.
ideas too. Don't be afraid. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, that's great. Mostly in my country, for instance, I wouldn't ever lie to you, and then I'll be very sincere and honest with you. Most of them what they actually does is whenever you call them for a gig or you call them for a section, what they have to do is they have to talk about the money first, which is very, very, very bad. It's really bad. So to my beginners out there, if you're coming out to learn music, if you hello, hello,
Yeah, I'm here.
hello,
Yeah, you cut off again a little bit. Yeah.
Anita,
Yeah,
Anita.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. We got kicked out, y'all. But I'll answer some questions. He'll probably come on. I'll ask your question, Junior. The question is, what if you are playing a band and here lies in case the singer goes off key? What should you do? Okay. What I do, Junior, if they go off key, I would probably raise my hand and say, let's say if the tenor was off, I would say, like, hey, like, a tenor, is off, and yeah, that's what I would do. Just let them know, like, let them know that, hey, one of the singers was off, um, and I would just say, can we just, let us hear them, without the music, and be respectful and kind about that. Yeah, yeah, all right. Okay, talking about mistakes. Okay, Andrews, what if the keyboardist stopped playing? So is the drummer. What do you do? Um, oh, okay. What I would do is if they stop, just tell them to keep going. Keep going as if it didn't happen. Keep going. Keep going. Like I had one time I had um um a beginner drummer that I was teaching him, and he on Sunday he stopped playing, and I'm like, hey, what you? It's okay, keep going. It's okay. He made a mistake and he stopped and he freezed. I'm like, hey, it's okay, keep going, keep going. It's okay, it's keep going. And he started playing, and I just encourage them to keep going. That's what I would say. Encourage them to keep going. Yes, yes. Any more questions, y'all? For me, I can answer definitely. But I guess my brother, Jazzy, are you are you on? Let me see if I can get you um on. Okay, and let's try to see if we can add you again. But yeah, any more questions, y'all? I would love to answer, no problem. Just drop it down in the comments, definitely. All right. Okay, so thank you guys for joining in. I really appreciate um, you guys just hopping on and putting your question down in the comments. Uh, yes, I'm gonna bring you on back, Jazzy. Hold on. Yes, thank you for joining, Andrews. Thank you. Um, 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 okay, okay, I'm adding you right now. Jazzy, my brother.
Hey,
Okay, here we
I'm
are.
back.
Hey.
All right, I got you. I got you answering some few questions.
Yes.
Well, I'm blind to the comments. I'm not seeing anything. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. So I was actually explaining things. I was like in my country here. Um, that is what they do, and I cannot lie about that. But my advice for the beginners or the intermediates out there is whenever you've been called to work with an artist, the very first thing you need to do is to ask about how everything is going to go. Make sure you are at your comfort zone and practice very well. Make sure you practice very well, because let's say it's what artists see the person to be matured or enough ahead of you. So you understand. For instance, that was last month. I had a chance to work with one of our artists in my country here, and the first impression he actually gave to me was very bad, but I knew it was actually a temptation. So we were talking, and he actually asked me how much I'm going to take for the section we are going to do together. I was after money. I just let him know I'm not after money, but I'm after what I just,
Mm.
an opportunity comes, it is a blessing to understand. So if you're a beginner out there, don't let money lead you. Don't let money lead
Mm.
you. It's very, very, very bad. It doesn't count to your music career. It brings music career. It, even the Bible says you can do it, and all things will be added onto it. You practice, you practice, you practice. The money itself will come. That is my advice for
Mm.
each and everyone here. If you have any question, you can ask, and we can move. So Anita, my last but one question I need to ask, and I need to know from you. Um, how has it been? For instance, you've been to a competition and you play keyboard. Your colleague also play keyboard, and then mostly that is what goes on in my country. So it's a question they said I should ask you. So that is what I want to ask you. Let's say I've been into a competition with the same keyboardist. He plays very good. I also plays very good, but he plays very well more than me. I know myself that he plays very well more than me. So with that, what should I do? Because anytime I see him, I just feel so down because I've seen someone great ahead of me. So whenever I meet him or her at a program, I just feel so tense. I just don't know what to do. So with that, what do you think is the best thing to do?
That's a really good question. And tell you what, I have felt that plenty of times, and I know other musicians can relate. Um, what I would say is, I'll basically watch how he plays, watch him, to take notes in your mind. Take notes in your mind, and you'd say, hey, or pull him aside and say, hey, can you teach me some of those, licks that you do, because I want to learn. I want to, boost up my techniques, and anything that you feel that you need, work on,
All right.
just be yeah, just be free to, like, say, hey, like, uh, you were amazing out there. Hey, can I get some lessons from you? And some, just ask him for, like, advice. Ask that person for advice. Yeah. So that's my little, uh, yeah,
Right. I got you.
yeah.
Thank you very much for answering. And my
No
last
problem.
question. My last question.
It's okay. It's
All right.
okay.
Would you love people? Would you love people to pay for your gifts?
Honestly, no, no, because with me, I I make it like my desire not to ask people for money, because of course, me and you, we don't do this for money. We do this to, be encouragers and to give tips and, positive vibes. And I I don't want to make money my priority. I don't want it to be the first thing on my mind, you
Great.
know. Um, yeah, whenever, of course, we sometimes, we do need money, but that's not going to be, you know, my, oh, I need to, Of course, I would need money, but it's not going to be my desire to like have more money and to pay people. No, and, or to charge people. No, I really believe that you know um, we should really um, share our gifts. What God has given to us. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right,
So
right.
that's my answer. Yes.
That is great. That is perfect. I love that. So Anita, we've done almost some minutes now, and I believe people are learning, people are listening to you, people are taking advice from what we are discussing here. And I'm blind to the comments, so whichever questions come, I believe you can actually answer them. So you check out whether there's questions so that you can answer for us to make it, and then see for us to go. If there is no question, I'll ask my own question and then
Okay. So through the comments, Junior, well,
section
I
so
already
that you can
answered,
answer it.
them, but I'll answer them again.
Okay.
Junior
All
Kick
right.
said, my question is, if you are playing a band and here lies the case and the singer goes off key, what should you do? So basically, if you're playing, so he's basically asking if you're playing and you hear somebody that's way off key, what should you do? Well, my advice is to let the leader know, let the worship leader know that somebody is off. Somebody's off. Like say, hey, worship leader, Miss So and so or brother so and so, I I I don't hear, something was off. I don't know who it was. Yeah, or you can ask them if you can see, you can um hear the worship team without the music. um so yeah, yeah, that's
Wow.
my
Wow.
yes, that's my, yeah.
That's great. That's
And
perfect.
yes, yes, yes. And Andrew has a question. He says, talking about a mistake, what if the keyboardist stopped playing, so is the drummer? What should you do?
Oh my
So if
God.
both yes, so if both keyboardist and drummer stop playing, what should you do? For me, I'll just say, hey, it's okay if you mess up. Keep going. Keep going. Just play what you remember from practice. Play. Just keep going. Keep going. Like I said, like earlier, just keep going. If you mess up, if you mess up and you stop, keep going. Keep going as if it didn't, happen. Just keep going. Keep going. That's my thing. So
Wow.
because people are gonna think that it's a part. So just keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Don't make it look like you
Keep
messed up.
going.
All right.
Keep.
So just keep going. Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah. That's what I always do. Yeah. So that's my tip. Yes. And I think yes. And I think that's about it for the questions in the comments.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. So my last question before I leave you to go, I leave you to do something before you go. All right. Do you feel it is good for us to practice a musical sign before we get to stage?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Definitely. Practice. Well, the saying says practice makes perfect. You hear all these wonderful bands that, you're like, oh my God, like this part was amazing. This part, it's all because they were in line and they were in line and uh, they practiced together. They practiced together in unison. Everybody's doing their part. Everybody, remember, the song and each part of the song. Yeah, and it just flows. It just flows. See, practice, when we practice a lot, it makes us it makes us like, like we're chill, like we know what we're
We
doing. Like,
know. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
I
yeah.
see it. I see
So
it.
practice, practice, practice. Yes,
Wow.
yes.
That's great. That's great. That's great. I like that. Um, I just wanted to know, there's a bonus tip to your viewers. Okay, it's just a bonus tip. I just want you to take time and then teach some music sign when somebody hears or just see, will know we are going here, we are going to the bridge, we are going to the chorus, we are going to, yeah. I just want you to take time, just 1 minute or anything, and then teach it. Yeah, it's up to you now.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So some signs that I would use, no problem. So some signs what I would use when I'm a musician to tell them to go to, like, to the verse, I would say, hey, go to the verse. This is like, like when you're turning like your back like that. That's what I would do. Hey, verse. Or to go to the top, I'll just say,
Ray.
just pat my head and
Okay.
they will go right. They will know immediately to go back to the top. Or to the chorus, I'll just say, something like the chorus. I'll just tell them like chorus, chorus, chorus. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's my thing of telling them. Yes, yeah.
All right. All right.
Usually we would have the
That's great.
worship leader
So
tell us. Yeah, yeah. Usually we would. Yes.
yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, that's fine. You so wherever you are, this is the first edition of Music Journey, and I just felt so blessed having my sister Anita from the US of A. Yeah, and it's a blessing, and it's also on Sunday. So happy Sunday to you all. Yeah, it's a blessing to you all. I know my friends in US are watching. I wish you all happy Sunday. Have a blessed day. As we discussed today, it's all about music, and we'll be bringing this show to you every weekend, which is Sundays here. So I'll be bringing Anita back to it very soon again. Yeah. So be expecting her again. And there's not going to be the
Yeah,
end, and there's not going to be the last as well. She's going to
that's
be part of
right.
us, and then she'll be coming as time goes on. I love you all. I just want to end here, and we're going to meet same time next week on our second edition of Music Journey. My name is Mr. Jazzy. You can follow me on Facebook. And Anita, your last word to your fans out there, people listening to you, people watching you, your last word to them before you go. And then you can also leave your social media handles if anybody needs a counsel or advice on what to do concerning music. Sure. So waiting on you.
Thank you again, my brother. I really appreciate you having
You're
me.
welcome.
It's an honor and a privilege.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you,
almost welcome.
just to talk about my experience with music. And yes, how music really, really changed me and it really helped me a lot. And I just want to say to everybody, thank you guys for just taking, time out to just um, write your just joining on and writing your questions down in the comments. It's just an honor. I just love answering questions. Honestly, I'm here. If you still have questions, hey, you can message me on Messenger. You can follow me on my page. I do worship lives every Mondays and Fridays at 7. And if you have questions, I'll definitely answer them. Even if it's in the middle of worship, I'll definitely, when I'm finished with worship, I'll definitely answer your questions. But thank you again. But thank you again, my brother, for really having me. It's an honor and
You're
privilege
welcome. You're
again. Thank
welcome. You're
y'all for
welcome. You're
joining.
welcome.
Really.
I have to thank you for also coming to my show, and I really appreciate it. You're almost welcome. Thank
No
you.
problem.
This one is from Anita from the US of A. And by next week, I have another guest I'll be bringing on the show. So we keep learning day in and day out. So at least every week you're gonna have a tip. You're gonna add something to your music career. So keep watching Music Journey. I'm out. Peace be unto you all. I love you all. I love you too, Anita. God bless you for joining me. Love you. Bye.
Love you too, my brother. Bye.